Hello, this is BohemianSim. Welcome to my next video. This one is, let's see. Basically, I have a plan. I'm going to start actually filming some of my gameplay and posting that, and I'm kind of setting up for that right now because I want my character to go to university. So because her aspiration is wellness, earlier I had to build a yoga studio, which you can actually get in the gallery, and you can find some photos of it on Instagram. My Instagram is just search for at BohemianSim83, and you can see some photos of that as well. Like I said, in the gallery, my EA gallery ID is BohemianSim. So check those out. Follow if you want. I would love the support. And then also, of course, if you like this build, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, get my notifications, all that jazz. But this one was because I wanted to go to university, but all of the dorms that come with the game are not that exciting. So I wanted to make something like, the kind of dorms you see in movies that don't actually exist. My husband was giving me the hardest time because I was homeschooled. I did not go to college. I went to trade school instead. And he's like, there were never dorms like that. You always had to share. Do they each get a room? I'm like, yes, but this is Sims. We don't have to do things the way the real world wants you to do them. I can make a really cool dorm where everyone gets their own room, and it has, I would live here. It ended up pretty cool. I was happy with it, but it was really fun. Just kind of not just building a regular house, but thinking about, okay, there has to be like the common room, and then there's the bedrooms, and then I end up adding a bunch of other stuff too. Excuse me. I add a gym, and I add a laundry room. And actually, it's funny, this originally, I knew I was gonna do something with the dorms. I didn't know if I was gonna remodel one of the old ones or if I was gonna build something from scratch, but the idea actually came because I wanted a laundromat. I was like, that would be cool. Have a laundromat. I think you can put your clothes from your basket in your inventory, so you should be able to take them and go do laundry. I don't know if it would really work, but this kind of made it so I didn't have to find out, because instead it's just a dorm laundromat. So there's multiple machines, just like you would have in a regular laundromat. Maybe not quite as many, but definitely more interesting than just having a regular house with a family laundry room. But yeah, I really wanted to make it look like wherever they got the funds to build this dorm, they wanted to make it state of the art and all up to date. So the common area is very kind of stylish, maybe not necessarily what the people living there would have chosen, but still really nice stuff. There's a part where I'm trying to pick the couches and stuff for the common area, the living room area where the TV is, and I'm like, I see these ones. I picked some, and I was like, these look like what the people that would live there would pick. But this is kind of like, it fits more of the look of the place. So I ended up going with the look of the place because I figured, those areas are going to be already furnished. They're already going to be furnished by whoever, funded the building of this place. So yeah, that was kind of part of the build, especially for the common areas. And then the bedrooms are basically all identical, except that each have their own color. And I did pick a room for the sim I'm going to play with, so she basically gets her own room. I did that one first, so I kind of idea, and then I just, anything that the dorm would have provided, like a bed and a desk, that's all uniform, but just with different colors. So I kept that the same in hers. And then I already added her stuff. So when she moves in, her stuff's already there, basically. Because I really hate it that you can't, add stuff later after you've moved in. As far as like going into build mode when you're, when you're living there, you can't really go into build mode. I probably could go in not logged into my character, but it's nice to just do things on a whim instead. So I kind of did it ahead of time. I was like, yeah, I'll just put a bunch of her stuff, her color and everything. And then the bathrooms are really uniform as well. They're basically exactly the same. Actually, they are exactly the same. I actually end up copying and pasting. After I did one, I just put it on the other, and I just changed some of the colors because I figure, whoever's staying in the, the orange room is going to have a yellow or an orange towel in there. So, and then in this part was just figuring out kitchen and all that. But yeah, I actually had a lot of fun doing this one. And it went really smooth. Like some of the time you get stuck and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Where's this going to go? How do I want to do this? But it actually went pretty smooth. I think my biggest moment was with the stupid couches. But I think everything else kind of, went smooth to plan. The outside was a little tough because I did want an area for people to hang out outside, but the place is pretty big on the lot that I did. But I figured it out. I got it. But yeah, very enjoyable one. Just very different. Again, trying not to use my go-to flooring. That light brown cats and dogs flooring that I put in everything. Been trying not to put it in everything. I think I've been doing all right. But yeah, and then I was thinking, oh, should we have some interesting walls? I'm like, no, it should just be white walls. And then, they decorate with stuff because, they don't want to go too flashy. It's still a place, for different people moving in and out and everything. But yeah, I was actually pretty happy with this one. Again, I'm kind of like, does my my college student even want to leave afterwards? After she graduates, she'll still want to live here. But yeah, this one will be in the gallery too. So if you wanted to place it somewhere and change what kind of lot it is, you can, you could just make it a regular house if you wanted to. Just change the lot trait up at the top right there. You see, you can see where I'm checking just the requirements of the lot. But if you wanted to just put it on a residential, it would fit totally fine too. Yeah. So, change things up as you want. If you decide to download it and you want to have it as more of a permanent home, you could do that instead of being kicked out once you graduate. But yeah, I think what I like about doing this kind of thing too is that it actually gives me ideas for my more normal builds, because it makes you think on a different scale and for different purpose, and it kind of goes, okay, I could use some of those ideas for something that isn't this lot type, but even just that living space, I end up having the sunken bedroom, and that's more where the TV's going to go, and they, play video games and watch movies and stuff. And then there's the risen area in that same common area where it's more of the, activities, like the playing card table and all that. My doggy just came in. We have a husky named Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda. After Ronda Rousey. Yeah. So it's spelled like Ronda Rousey too, which is nice. And she's a sweetie. She's the quietest husky you'll ever know. Because her other dogs bark too much, so I think she's like, I don't need to say anything. They'll bark for me. But yeah. If you like this build, definitely give it a thumbs up. Or if there's something that you didn't like or something that maybe I've commented on that I'm like, I don't know how to do that, let me know. If there's something I'm still learning about what best to talk about on these videos as well. I mean, I enjoy talking about the thought process of the build and the background, but if you want to know more about like actually, me or some of the things that I do more specifically, just let me know. I mean, obviously, not obviously, but I always use BB Move objects. So I can place everything closer and it just looks better. It just looks more realistic, instead of having it on the grid. If you don't know how to use that, you just hit Shift Control C and the little cheat bar shows up, and then you type BB dot move objects and push enter, and then you just push Shift Control C again to get that bar to go away. And that just allows you to kind of place things off the grid. There's still some places where you still can it still can affect things, like setting things on counters. They already have like the number of places to set things. So if you do want to cheat that, if you just pick an object and place it in all the available spots, any object that will fit on there, place as many of them as you can until there's no more room. Then you can take whatever object you actually want there, and you can raise it up using Control 9 and make it look like it's sitting on top of it. And you use Control and you can, move it off the grid, or sorry, not Control, use Alt. You hold Alt and you can move it more smoothly now that those places have been filled. Normally, if you push Alt in any other place, it just moves freely, but on the counters and tables sometimes it still has like places that you have to put it. So if you fill up those places, then you can use Control 9, raise it up and move it around freely using Alt and put it where you want it. And then you can delete all the other stuff and it'll still like be in its place. Maybe I'll do a video more detail on that, so you can actually tell what I'm talking about, because it is a little hard to explain without visuals. I do it in here. If I see myself doing it in this build, I will say, there it is, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, here's the couch dilemma. See, the orange one I felt was like, okay, I could see some gamers or some college students picking that couch. But I was like, but they're not the ones furnishing this place. And even though I liked the look of it and it looked more like sunken in and cozy and worn, it's like, this is probably like a brand new building that the college just got funded for. And, whoever decided to fund it also provided, money for all the furnishings and everything. So I definitely wanted it to be more of that look. Like when you go into a hotel and it's none of your furniture, but it all fits and it's all nice and, all that kind of thing, I guess, is what I was going for. Oh my goodness. My hair is caught. There we go. I have a lot of hair. Long hair on my head. Not on my face. Don't worry, I don't have a big mustache or something. Let's see. Oh, yes. Figuring out what to put under the TV, because obviously, like I said, I wanted them to have video games and, all that stuff. But I still wanted to stick with the colors. I'd picked that blue table and the yellow furniture, so I want something that kind of went with that. I really, really love the home design. I know I'm saying it wrong. What's the pack called? The interior design pack. I think between university and that pack, I get the most gameplay out of it, because I feel like a lot of times when I'm playing, and maybe it's because I do tend to play a very vanilla game, it just ends up being kind of boring. Like I feel like my time isn't filled. Like I try to do things and, my sim can be busy and everything, but it's not like goal oriented, I guess. Like I can have my sim do a bunch of stuff, but when it comes to actually like, okay, I'm going to, I want like more gameplay as far as like my sim has tasks that I have to do in a certain amount of time. It kind of fills the time and it actually makes it more fun for me. So I feel like that's what I like about university. It's like because you have homework and you have to fit all this stuff in, you're trying to, the other activities and you're trying to socialize and you're trying to, finish your homework and study all the time and all that. I really feel like it makes you work harder to accomplish what you want, and to actually get good grades. But yeah, I really enjoy that part of university, and I feel like the interior design kind of gave you gameplay like that too. Now, even though, yes, it doesn't kill a lot of time, because basically the most time that designing, decorating someone's home takes is the talking to the client. Then you're in build mode, no time is going by. And the taking the photos and stuff, time goes by when you do that. But it just kind of, I guess because I like to build so much, I liked how it made it so you could go back and forth between building. And you didn't have to really spend your own money either. The simoleons weren't coming from your sim. It was a budget. And, I feel like there was a lot more creativity that you could do because, yeah, you weren't just building on your own lot. You weren't just building on your sim's home. Because sometimes I would just want to change things because I felt like building. But now it's like, okay, well, if the story doesn't really go towards, okay, I need to rebuild this, or I need to add another room to the house, or if they can't afford it yet or whatever, I didn't have to do cheats. I could just say, okay, well, I'm going to go do a job, and then I can do the building and I can do the decorating and have fun with that without it being without it being in the way of the storyline I was going towards. So I really like that. I think those are my two favorite packs as far as what they brought to gameplay. Now, I do love Laundry Pack because it gave us a lot of cool stuff to play with. I like the decor. I really do. And there's certain things that I use all the time, even if I don't put a laundry room in. Okay, here's an example of what I was talking about. See this shelf here? I wanted to put a bunch of detergent bottles on it, but I couldn't get them on one of the shelf that I actually wanted it on. So what I end up doing, so that I can bypass, because a lot of times if I try to put it on the top shelf, even if I use Control 9 to raise it up, it'll still click back down. So what I did is I just filled all the empty spots, every spot that it allowed me to put a bottle. I put a bottle. Okay, I'm not sure what this pause is. Oh, you know what I think it was? I think I was changing my movie. I had a movie on while I was doing this, and it ended, and I think I was putting on a new one. That's what happened. I remember I was like, yeah, there'll be a pause in the record, but whatever. Yeah, I was watching some Marvel stuff. I can't remember which one I was on when I was actually building this, though. I have a memory of Thor. Maybe it was Civil War. No, he's not in Civil War. I don't remember which one it was. I do have a memory of Thor, but maybe that was just because the little ad afterwards was advertising Thor. So yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay, there we go. That took me a while to get that going. I was probably trying to figure out what I was going to watch. Okay, see what I'm doing? Because I filled up all those spots, now I can actually use Control 9, raise them up, position it how I want, and make actual rows that I originally couldn't because they would click into that little spot. So what I'm doing is I'm just placing all of them where I want them, and even though there's that weird one in the middle that just kind of, overlaps, that's okay. Because, see, I ended up deleting all of them, or some of them. Did my movie not play? Is that what happened? Okay, there we go. Yes, I multitask. I have movies on at the same time that I have movies on the same time I'm building Sims builds. Not that I'm visually watching them all the time, but I listen to them. Another reason that it made sense to move into the office, because I was in the living room, so when I wasn't talking on my builds, sorry, I heard a sound. I don't know what that was. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, when I'm not talking on my builds, I like to have something on, so I would have that on. But then I was like, well, I have dual monitors. When I want to do that, I can just put something on the other monitor. So thank goodness for watching TV through the internet. What did we do before? We had to have two. So all we could do is watch TV. But yeah, what am I doing now in here? Oh, I'm trying to fix the roof because I want enough hall space. Placing the stairs kind of interesting because of the spacing. I wanted to make sure people could actually get places, which is why I added those stairs, because I didn't know if the sim was actually going to go under the stairs to go into the common room if I didn't put other stairs, because I knew it could get around to the little game area, the little activities area, but I wasn't sure if they would be smart enough to go under the stairs to get down. I didn't know if that would work, so I put the stairs there just to make sure if they did go around to the game area, then they could still go down actual stairs to get there. So hopefully that works. Once again, I did not gameplay it, but it should be fine. I don't see why it wouldn't work. But if it doesn't, let me know. Like I said, I was kind of just rushing to get this done so that I can start doing some gameplay on my channel. Also, there are so many challenges happening right now. Like, there's one that's due tomorrow that I started working on just a little bit ago. And then I'll be caught up. But then on Monday, there's two that are due. These are ones I found on Instagram, different ones that I found. And then on the following Saturday, there's two that are due. And why did everyone put their deadline for their challenges on the 31st? It's like, let's see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. There's 6 that are due that day. So I'm like, okay, well, I got work to do. Because I enjoy the challenges. I definitely do. I like both. I like things like this, where I'm building a different kind of building, but then I also like challenges. I like the people giving me those limits, and it makes you think differently, and I think it really helps in your free building, because I think when you do get to the point where you can do anything, you kind of remember things that you did before, like even just finding like decor that you wouldn't have used before, because I have my go-to decor. Like if I was going to build a house, it was, my usual go-to things. I think we all have our go-to objects for the most part, and sometimes doing challenges makes it so you have to look elsewhere, because you are trying to be unique and you are trying to stand out, but also make something that looks good. Yeah, here was my task of filling up this room. This is the one that my sim will use. You can specify which room your sim uses when you go and live at a dorm or student housing by just clicking on the bed, basically, and saying this is her bed or this is his bed. This is their bed. What am I doing? I don't know what I was doing here. Oh, I was trying to figure out the windows. That's what I was doing. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so trying to, but yeah, so that's how you can do it. You just click on the bed and click your sim and say this is their bed. That's what I was talking about. Sorry, sidetracked there. But yeah, so basically it was my usual pick a color, because I mean she likes black, obviously. So I just looked through everything black and I grabbed anything that might work, and then I moved it to the other room, and then I started actually dispersing it and putting it in the room the way I wanted. yeah, figuring out placement is never easy, especially when you do want to add windows. And I always like the desk looking out a window because I think that's what I would do. Of course, my office doesn't have windows, so I can't do that. But, well, technically it does, but it doesn't really look outside. So there was an addition to the house that makes it so the windows don't actually look outside. Plus, I'm on the opposite side where my desk ended up being. It's on the opposite side of the room with the windows, which is fine. I just decorated my wall, so I have that stuff to look at. But yeah, when I build, I like to put the desk in front of a window. But yeah, it was kind of fun decorating this all black room. And you'll see me do the that thing I was talking about. See right here, I'm like, I want to move stuff around this dresser, but it keeps clicking into a spot I don't want it. So I just fill up all the spots. So basically what I did is I just filled all the spots and then moved things where I wanted them after the fact. It ended up looking how I wanted it. Yeah, and then there's that wall that you don't see when you're in half wall. I usually use this setting when I play where you can only see certain walls because it's easier to see what your sim is doing. Oh yeah, I'm doing that with the boxes too because I couldn't place things exactly where I wanted on the desk. So I ended up just placing a bunch of these boxes, then moving things where I want them, and then deleting the boxes that I didn't want there. See? Voila. But yeah, I had those towels there because I was going to put it in the... Sorry, I'm like hitting my mic. In the bathroom. But you know, I do that thing where I look through everything and I grab everything that I would like. See, I threw them in the bathroom for later. Did I not color their floors? Okay, I did. That's right. I just did a slightly different color. I didn't do the same flooring as the hall. And then I had to figure out, too, where to put doors. Like, I basically decorated the whole thing without doors. I had an idea where I wanted the door, but I needed to be a little more specific. Oh, see here, I'm copying everything, moving it over to the other room, and then just changing the color of those things. So the chair, the desk, the dresser, and the bed were all kind of like staples that were already there when they move in. And then they add their stuff. So I figured, you know, there's, you can assign the room to all of the people that live in the dorm. So obviously, you know, the sim that I was going to be playing was going to be will be in the black room. And then there'll be other people that you're not playing that live in the dorm because there's 4, I think it's for 4 people. So basically you can click on all the beds and assign whoever you want to each bed, which will then assign them to the room. Plus, if you don't want wandering in, you can always click on the door and lock it for everyone but who you're playing with, which is nice too, because a lot of times in the dorms people come over a lot too. It's not just the people you live with either. I also like to put a lock on my laptop because if the door happens to be open, Sims will just get on your laptop. Don't even ask. It's very rude. So I like to do that because sometimes I want to use it and someone's on it. It's really annoying and I have to yell at them to get them to leave. And then you don't have a good relationship with them at that point. And then here's where I realized, oh, I need to do this differently if I want to make it that way. I need to flip it around. I just kind of threw everything over there. Again, I'll be changing all the colors and stuff too. So each room has its own kind of theme color, which that was kind of fun because I already placed everything and then I just got to go through each thing, kind of pick what color. The bed was usually what I did first, just because I didn't feel like there was as many options, especially considering that I didn't want it to look gender specific. Like, I didn't want it to look like a girly room or a masculine room. I wanted it to just be, here's a room. So I wanted to use colors like orange and green and blue because they're not as specific. Because, you never know who's going to end up living in the dorm with you. It's not just a girl dorm. But yeah, I was happy with that room, how the black room turned out. And then I was like, okay, bathroom. How do I want to do the bathroom? It's a shared bathroom, shared space. Always there's going to be 2 bathrooms, so there'd be 2 people sharing each bathroom. So 2 sinks felt were a good idea. And I always suck at, it takes me a little while, I wouldn't say I suck at it, but it takes me a little while to figure out what, where exactly I want to place everything in the bathrooms. But I do like setting things, and then if I want to change color, I can always change colors later. That is the cool thing about that little swatch button. Makes things a little easier that way. Like I said, when I multiplied this room, I basically just built 1 bathroom, redid it, moved it over, because the door's pretty much in the middle of the room, so it didn't really make a difference that way. Excuse me, where things are placed. But then I got to go around like here and change the towel colors. Not everyone has a robe. I didn't know if I wanted to go that far. I felt that was more of a personal thing that she happened to bring and put it on the hook in the bathroom by her stuff. But yes, very fancy dorms, but I like it. I mean, it is Sims. It is Sims University. Why not go all out? I have no idea what the rent is going to be for this place. I can't remember if I plan to use Motherload or not. I don't know. I started playing and then I was like, no, I want to do this different. So I started building first, and I'm kind of starting over with the character. I'm trying to remember how I did it. I can't remember if I even placed her yet, or if she's just still in the gallery. But I will continue this a little bit later because my daughter's awake. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so it's nighttime now. Husband watching the baby, so I get to come back and finish this up. All right. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so I just did the bathroom, duplicated the bathroom and changed the color of the towels. I'm just finishing up. And if you've watched my other videos, you'll know I always have to place actual railings around the stairs, because even though Sims can't technically fall off, I still feel like it's a thing with me. I have to make sure that these fake people can't fall down and hurt themselves. I really liked the little bicycle nooks, little place to hide to park your bike. I thought that was fun. I like how that looked, even if you can't really get to the bikes. I just thought it looked cool. And then coming back to trying to figure out what I was going to do with outside. I know I wanted that social area for outside. I didn't want it to just be about the inside. And, I felt the luxury of the inside of the outside had to match the luxury of the inside. So hot tub, yes. And then I started putting the hot tub in that corner, which made me say, okay, well, I have to take the windows away from the gym, because that'd be weird to have people relaxing in the hot tub and looking in at you while you're exercising in the gym. But yeah. So yeah, it kind of made me move stuff in the gym around, which I ended up was okay with, even though I ended up moving the hot tub in the end. I always feel like if you're on elliptical, especially in a gym that small, that you should be by a window, so you can see out. Makes for a better experience. So that's why I kind of move things around when I move those windows. But yeah, I ended up being more okay with it in the end. Um, yeah, and then trying to find a place for that ping pong table. I actually ended up doing a lot more than I expected originally. I thought I was just going to do that little platform, but then I kept feeling like it still looked too bare. And I mean, it's filling up this lot. I felt like I needed to make something on all sides for different purposes. I mean, yes, you can go on that little platform and you can hang out. I ended up putting the hot tub over there, and it's more of a hang out with your friends, chat outside kind of area. So that I wanted to make a little more of a relaxing area where if they wanted to go sit outside and read, they could do that, which is why I made this little fountain area, which I didn't think I was really going to like at first, but then the more I added to it, the more I was like, yeah, I'm into that. And then the task of finding a matching table. Luckily, that one from the Solani pack matched the patio furniture from Patio Kit perfectly. Yeah, I thought that looked alright. And then I liked continuing that theme of that dark tile through the whole outside instead of having it different in different places. Even the entryway and the inside is still that. And then trying to find room for the shelf for all the towels and the accessory type stuff. I had to move some stuff around for that, but in the end I was happy with it. And once again, in this, as you can see by that floating basket there, I was using the trick of using Control 9 to move things up so it looked like it was on there. Those towels actually do fit on there, but then when I wanted to add more, I had to raise them up so that it looked right. And then I wanted that basket for the dirty towels, but it didn't look right with pillows, so I put those up on top to make it look more like someone just folded their towel and set it in there. Sunscreen. That sunscreen bottle is way too small for my taste, so I always make it like one size bigger. You can use the little bracket keys to grow and shrink things. Just cool. It's funny because there's a limit on how small something can go, but so far that I've seen, I've not been able to reach the limit of how big you can make something, which is kind of funny because you literally could make a ginormous toilet. Or my daughter was sitting in my lap pointing at objects, wanting me to put them on the screen big. So there's a whole family of pumpkins that were ginormous, some chickens, from the little porcelain chickens and roosters and stuff that they have. But they were all bigger than the house, so it was kind of funny. Yeah, I'm trying to stick with that theme of with the flowers being white like that. And then nice little outdoor lighting. Always got to check that nighttime look to see. And then I figured this looks like a park. I want to use those. I hardly ever use these lamps because they just feel too big to me. But they fit, I think, in this situation. I wish they were a little more petite, but that's why I never use them on my home builds, but it made sense because this isn't really, people live here, but it's not like a house. So, yeah. Alrighty. Oh yes, and the tree placement, which is really hard when you've used up almost the whole lot because you have to make it so they don't stick through the walls. So I did shrink down some of the trees so it still looked complete and full, and with the shrubbery and the trees and stuff without it actually poking into the side of the wall. Yeah. So today on Instagram I posted these pictures that I found. They were screenshots that I had taken from a long time ago when I played. Not too long ago, but at least a year ago probably. And it was a glitch that the game had where, because I'd made this gym. It's an everything gym. You can actually find it in the gallery under BohemianSim if you want to download it. It's a really big gym, has everything. It was fun to make, but what happened was I was playing with the gym. I had a character there, and she had a boyfriend that I was not playing with. She was a teenager. I'd moved her out early. She's trying to be a successful yoga instructor. So she invited all her students that she had acquired to the gym. It was snowing outside. Well, there was a glitch, I believe. I don't see how it could have been anything but a glitch. The people were not putting on their clothes, their winter clothes. So a ton of people ended up dying. So I have pictures of one person floating dead in the pool, and other pictures of all the urns that ended up on the outside or on the pool, because everyone was just freezing to death. Because one person froze, everyone had to go out and check out the death, and then they wouldn't put on their winter clothes and they wouldn't go back inside, so everyone started dying. So you can check out the full story on my Instagram, which is BohemianSim83. Pretty funny. But it looks like I'm winding down to the end of this video. Yeah, just finishing up the little finishing touches, putting up some art around. Again, I didn't want to clutter it too much because it is it's pre-decorated before people move in. So that's why I ended up not putting up that kind of anime looking poster, because I felt like, that'd be something that would be more personal touch. Whereas these paintings of like the flower in the laundry room and the cup of coffee in the kitchen, and that kind of art seemed to fit more the decor rather than who would actually be living there. But yeah, this one was really fun. I really enjoyed this, and I really look forward to playing with it. I will be filming and posting, maybe live streaming. I'm still working on the setup for that. So hopefully I'll start live streaming soon, but I'm not sure I'm going to start with this play. The character's name is Deja Vu. Yes, that's her whole name. Her last name is Vu. Yeah, the plan is to have her go to college pretty much first thing. Right now she'll just be living in one of those, first starter homes that come with the game, and then I'll move her into here as soon as I can. Once she gets accepted and all that. Hopefully, going to try not to use too many cheats. It's very hard for me not to use Motherload. But yeah, the plan is see what happens when I do that. But yeah, if you like this video, if you like the build, please subscribe. Please thumbs up the video, comment if you liked it or not. If there's anything you didn't like, give me some constructive criticism. I'm fine with that. And what else? Yeah, do the little bell so you can get the notifications. Follow me on Instagram, BohemianSim83. And if you want to download this, it's on the gallery under BohemianSim. It's called University Dorm. I think that's all I called it. Yeah. So yeah, I will upload that as soon as I upload this video. So just finishing up the last bit. Got to go through every room, check every room. Again, the decoration menu is both lovely and awful at the same time because there's so many choices and it takes so long to scroll through everything. But as I do, this is usually the last bit where I scroll through one more time and I kind of get any last bit things. You can see I'm kind of skipping around the whole house, figuring out exactly where I want to put all that cluttery, stuff. All the finishing touches and stuff to make it look finished. Go figure. All right, what am I doing here? Hamper. I decided that she should have her own hamper. I didn't know what the gameplay would be like if I gave each person their hamper, or people were going to start going into each other's. I first put the hampers in the laundry room, and then I just felt like she needs to have her own. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm trying to remember if I've ever played with multiple hampers in one household before. Yeah, I'm not sure. So this will be interesting because I think there's still one in the laundry room. Oh yes, I decided to add a basketball hoop. I was going back and forth on that in my head if I wanted to do it. And I decided, hey, they have everything else. It fits. go ahead. And then here's some final photos. There's the front, the back. There's the close-up of the back. You can see all the ping pong table. There's the bikes. In the front, the entryway. A little patio with a hot tub. But yeah, so hopefully you download. Hopefully you like it. Thank you so much for viewing, whether you view the whole thing or just parts. Yeah, and I will have another video up soon. So I will be signing off now. Thank you so much for watching and whatever support you gave. Thank you.